yes. There we go. I should say recording. Yeah. So how's everybody doing today? Good? Right on. We're having crazy weather here, so I'm hoping, we don't tend to lose power here, so knock on wood that this won't be a first time, but you never know. And we get extremes, so we have overland flooding warnings now, and the water's not soaking in, so and I'm watching the wall, making sure nothing's gonna seep into the basement here, so it's crazy. But anyway, we're gonna do the Red River jigs today, right? That's what we were talking about. And talked about the two different versions, well, two of the different versions. There's so many versions of the Red River jig. Almost everybody that plays it almost has their own version. And the one that I first grew up listening to was Reg Bovette's version. And I always thought that was the version of it. Sorry, I'm trying to admit somebody. So there we go. And turns out that was probably the least popular version of it. And so I kind of grew up knowing how to play that one. And then I heard Andy DeJarlis's version. And that's the one that seems to be the most popular. When you hear Calvin playing or John Arcan playing, they're playing kind of based around Andy DeJarlis's version. So that's probably the most popular one. We'll do that one first. And I'm just going to mute people here as I see them unmuted. Okay. And more people coming in. All right. So, and it's funny too, because I used to do some, when Reg Bovette was playing around in Winnipeg here at Legions and this private club in St. Boniface, a French community, he would play the Andy DeJarlis version, not even his own version that he recorded. So I thought that was kind of neat. But anyway, I'll play you the Andy DeJarlis version, and you can cross tune your fiddle if you like. All you would do is the G would go up to an A note. And I'm going to do that just because I have these perfection pegs that do nothing, take nothing to tune. So the G is tuned up to an A note. And basically all that does for this tune is give it a ring. It rings out because the tune, we're droning a lot of the A and the E notes, so it kind of lends itself to ringing. So I'm going to play it just once through, a little bit on the slower side, kind of a medium pace. So that first part, they call it the high part. That's when the dancer would do the basic step that everybody does. And then the low part is the kind of the specialty step part. So that's where they would do all these other steps that are not the basic step. And there's lots of traditional steps, and I mean, dozens and dozens of them. I've played at the John Arcan Fiddle Festival for a jigging contest, and the winner is the one that dances the most steps. So I've played upwards of 50, 60 times through this tune while they're doing all the steps they know. And as soon as they repeat one, that's when the judges say, okay, stop. So that's pretty intense. And the good thing is we don't have to count it as a fiddler. We just keep playing and playing and playing till they stop, or till our hand falls off or something will happen. But anyway, there is a lot of repetition in this tune. So a lot of repetition, but also there's repetition that might change only one or two notes, which kind of makes it even a little bit tougher when you're talking about repetition. So I'll just play the first little phrase. So that's kind of the basic first phrase. Okay, and then we do this again, but we have a couple pickup notes. And always droning that A and the E. So I'll put that together. There we go. So one more time. Okay, and then the next part, we do those same pickup notes, but we do a little different phrase. So we go. So from, I'll do it from that new part. And with the G tuned up to the A, we're just droning on that. That sounds kind of nice. If we didn't have the G tuned up to an A, you could just drone on the open A. So it'd be. That would be fine too, but I like the low. Okay, so I'll play it up from the beginning to that part. And I'll do it again. So this next part is the first part where it repeats, but there is a little bit of a difference. So I'll just play it for you. Wait. Oh yeah, so I go back. So it's a little different at the end. So I start with the two pickup notes from the beginning, but I'm not holding that first one like I did at the start. So it's just regular eighth notes. So going up. And I think that happens again with those other two pickup notes. Okay, I'll put those two together. And one more time. And I am playing a G natural note in here. The chord that the accompanist would be playing is A for this whole part, like without even changing to D or E. It's just straight through A. So I'll take it from the beginning up to where I left off. So that's where we got to. Now coming up is the transition that takes us to the B part. So I'm just going to play this part again a couple more times. So one more time through that. Okay, so now this next part, it goes, I'll just play it. So now to try and go back to that. And again. more time. Okay, so I'm going to play the whole first part now, right up to that part. So I'm just going to ask if there's any questions, if there's any part that you're just not sure of, you need a little bit of clarification about, you can ask, feel free. There's no silly questions. Everybody okay? Just unmute if you do have a question.
And can we loop the end a couple times?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, because it's the part that just doesn't, it comes out of nowhere. It doesn't really relate to anything that we did before. So I'll just play it again. Again.
Requests to just can we adjust your camera or your body just a bit so I can see your fingers a bit more?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Can we play? Oh, okay. That was from the good. Okay. So let me just move this down. Is that better? All right. So let's just go through the whole thing one more time from the start. So that open D at the end takes you right into the second part. So I'll play it through just the second part, and you can hear all the repetition and the slight non-repetitions part. Okay, so it's going from a D to a C sharp. So with the G tuned up to the A, I'm using my second finger to hit that C sharp. But if you're not tuned up to A, you would just play like the third finger up high as a C sharp. So I'll just play the first little phrase there. And I'm droning that open A on the low G, but you could also just drone the open A on the regular open A. Okay, so again, and then we go. So I guess that's on an up bow start. So putting that together. One more time. Okay, and on that D, we're kind of still rolling through. So the next phrase starting on that D. So I'm slurring on a down bow 3 notes. together. And sometimes I'll maybe play the double A's, or I might go A-D, like that. It's interchangeable, whatever you'd like to do. So one more time for that. And then it happens again. So it actually repeats in its entirety, the whole thing. Nothing has changed there. So I'll put them both together again. And then coming into the end, it starts with that same phrase. And then it changes there. We go. So we're doing that triple note slur on the down bow. And again. Again. One more. And that's the entire second part. So I'll play it through right from the beginning. That second part. Any questions about that? I'm trying not to do too much droning, just so you can hear what the important notes are. The droning can come after.
Any tips on not getting lost in the phrases? Like remember to go to that high D.
The what do you? Oh, before you go to the ending.
To go da 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 da.
Right. Well, to me, it's like 2.5 times through that whole phrase. Da 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 dum da 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 da. That's one, and then da 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 dum da the whole thing again, and then half of it again. But that being said, sometimes I think even on the Andy DeJarlis recording, you may have noticed that a couple times he might have played it an extra round. You never know. You never know. It might be to mess up the dancers or to, make sure they're still awake. I don't know. And the same thing with Reg's version when we get to that one. His second part, he kind of added some extra ones sometimes and kind of it just makes it interesting. But I always play it the same. I don't think I ever add an extra part. So it just feels right. And it's kind of crooked. So they say if counting to 10 works. And when I chord to it on the piano, I'm finding that I have to, like when you chord with the bass notes, it's like A, E, A, E. But I have to kind of go A, E, A, E to get the beat, the one in the right spot again. So it gets a little bit crooked. So I'll play that. I can go through the second part a couple more times, and then we'll do the whole thing. And how are we for time? Oh, somebody messaged me. Oh no. Okay, we're good. So from the beginning of the second part. I'm trying to think of maybe getting into it from the A part because that's going to be the challenge. I'm trying to. So go from. So we'll do that again. So from the 3, 2, 3. let's do the whole tune right from the start. Here we go. I didn't touch on when I was first showing you the second part when we're going back into the first part. It just kind of keeps going through it. So we're doing the same pickup notes that we started, but we're just not playing them long, short. It's just regular. That's all there is. So we're going. So. The main first beat actually starts on that A. All those notes before it are almost like a little bit of an intro to it because you're still in the key of whoa, I think you're still in the key of D. That's where the chording, the accompaniment would change to the A, back to the A. And like I said, the whole first part is A without any chord changes. The whole second part is D without any chord changes at all. So really interesting. Any questions about this one?
Can we do the phrase after you go down to the low E? Going down to the low E in the A part? So I guess it would be like the third phrase.
Oh.
I just heard it. It's two. No, just right there. It was two E's. That's what I was missing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's all you need?
Can we just loop that a couple times?
Yeah. Here we go. No, that's not it. No, sorry. That part. With that low drone. I think that was what you meant, right? That was the part?
Totally. I would just, I wasn't playing the two open E's.
Ah, okay. Yeah. All right. So let's,
Yeah, I have one quick question.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
If you're playing with, like a guitar player, how do you count in to start?
I would probably go. I would probably just let them know that the chording doesn't actually start till you get to that A part, like that till there. But I would just kind of like 1, 2, 1. But I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world if they start chording at the beginning. Just, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it would still work. So yeah, I would just go because it's 2/4 time. 1, 2, 1, like that. Any other questions? No. All right, so let's move right into the other version, the Reg Bovet version. And I'll play it through. Get the other one out of my head. I don't know if I'm gonna try it with the cross tuning, but I might go back to the regular. Cross tuning. It kind of took me by surprise because I wanted to play the C sharp with my third finger. All right, so yeah, this one is just, it's totally different to me. It sounds like a different tune, but when you listen to it, it's in its entirety, you can see there are a lot of similarities to the first one. So so it starts, I use that fourth finger on the A with the open E. But you can just use open E, open A, whatever works for you. So with the open E or open A. And then going up to that on that last part. And then we go. Oh yeah. So this one's not as fresh in my head, so I'll probably have to go back and figure out where I am in this one. It doesn't come as naturally for me, even though it's my first introduction to the Red River Jig. That's the main phrase. Go. I think. Really weird. Because it sounds like, to me, this sounds like the ending from the first part going into the second part. So lots of extra beats. And then it just repeats again. First part. I'm just gonna play it quick so it's make sure I'm doing it right. Yeah, that is it. That's all there is. So I'll go from the beginning again. We'll do that a bunch of times. Make sense? Everybody okay with that? Any
Sorry,
questions?
I may have stepped out, but who was this one by?
Oh, this is the Reg Bovet version.
Oh, okay, that's the one we danced to. That's the one that I know. It's so easy to hear the difference. The
Yeah.
change. Part.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So you're familiar with it already. And this seems to be the one, like I said in our first class, that if you ever see these online jigging contests, more than half of the people have this version of the Red River Jig. But if you're live, nobody really plays it. So, and some people kind of play a hybrid of both of them. It's kind of neat. There's all kinds of different versions. So, oh, another question. Sorry, my eyes are really bad. So it says, what count do you use hanging on the E before starting the A part again? Good question. So it's just really quick. It's like, so we're kind of pushing that starting note again. Like that. Like that. Make sense? Okay, so I'm going to play it again slow, and then I'm going to go into the second part, and I'm going to stop after the first little second part phrase. Okay, so this one I got to really remember that I have my string tuned up. So here we go. Phrase. And again. And I'm going to play it lots because it repeats a lot. So this second part is way easier to follow than the other part. So I think it happened. I'll play it. I'm going to count while I'm playing it. 1, 2, 3. All right, so it happens 3 times, every note for note. That's 1, and then again. So when you're coming out of the 4th time, the change. So I'm just going to the E note on the D string with a little D grace note. And you want to really accent that because you've just been doing the same thing for forever before that. So you want to say, okay, we're done that. We're going to move on now. So and then we go. So it's just a scale there. Oh, sorry. I won't get ahead of myself. Okay. So we're climbing up the scale, not skipping any notes, I don't think. And then going down, skipping. And remember how somebody had asked about the count to get back to the E, we do the exact same thing there, returning into the first part. And that's where it goes. So let's try that second part a few times. Is telling me to check something. Just give me 1 second, because I'm not sure. Part of me is thinking that he stops after the third time, but it's hard to tell when you're playing it so slow, so I'm just going to listen to it quickly. Here we go. Little ad. There we go. Oh, good. So he puts less of an accent on that note I said to really accentuate, but that's okay. So yeah, it is 4 times. Thank goodness. Just seemed like we were doing it too long, but so we'll do the second part a couple more times, and then we'll put it together from the beginning. So from the. So for this time, I'm going to see if we could do that transition part from the A part into that. So just let me figure out where it is. So. From that transition again. Are we ready to try it right from the beginning? Do you have any questions about that second part? Take a sip. No? Okay, so right from the beginning. So 1, 2, 3, go. So in Reg's version too, he does that second part. He'll add an extra time through. I think he does it actually on the second time through the tune. So I'm just gonna let it play here a bit. So this is the second time. No. Maybe the next time. Five. I knew it. I knew he did that. So I'm gonna just go to the end because I'm really curious to see how he ends it. There doesn't seem to be a good place to end. So I'm just gonna go right to the last 10 seconds here. Okay, that's easy enough. So he's like. Just like that, just playing an open D after that. So that's pretty cool. Was that a new question? No, I don't think so. Any
Yes, someone-
questions? Oh, that
Someone
is a
was
good question.
asking where it originated from. Scottish, Irish?
It's hard to say. There's a Quebec tune called Le Grand Jig Simple or Simple. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's obviously a derivative of that. So I'm not sure where that came from, whether it's right from Quebec, but with the settlers coming to the prairies and playing their instruments and listening to the people that were living in the prairies, their instruments. There's also a legend. I don't think it's true, but they say that the Scottish people were on one side of our river, the Red River, and the indigenous people were on the other side. And the Scottish people were playing their bagpipes, and the indigenous people were trying to mimic the sound with their fiddles. Sounds kind of a neat story, but John Arcan says, no, that's not what happened. So I think it's just kind of a legend. But it's kind of neat, though. It's definitely they call it the Métis national anthem. If anybody ever asked me what tune I've played the most in my life, it would, without a doubt, be that one. Because if you're playing somewhere and 9 times out of 10, there's going to be somebody in the audience that wants to dance the Red River Jig, so you play the tune for them. You know, even if you weren't planning to, you'll be playing it before you know it. So if you've ever had requests to play it but didn't know it, now you do. But you see how fast they like to dance to it too. So that Reg Bovet version that I was playing, it's sped up quite a bit. You can tell that the pitch is higher. So that's not the original speed. I don't think that he recorded it at. As they say, the record's playing fast.
Say, Patty?
Yeah.
I've heard that the B part is supposed to represent the buffalo running across the prairie. Okay, that's what it's supposed to represent. The lower part.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I've never heard that one before.
And I've heard that part, the A part, them trying to imitate the Scottish bagpipers, and the B part being the buffalo crossing the prairie.
Yeah. Well, I like that one. I'm going to use that one. But it's a lot of fun to play, and it's like I said, there's different versions of it. Those are only 2. Does anybody have any other questions?
Having played with Reg, did he ever mention where he got it from?
You know, he never did. He never did. I don't know if he had family who played or what, but he was a long haul truck driver, and I don't know how he got to be playing the fiddle, to be honest. He was when I was a kid, he was just always there. So, and when you're a kid, you don't think to ask those questions. Had I met him like in this day and age, or a little while ago, I would have thought to ask that, but unfortunately not. And even if you look in the Manitoba Museum where they have some of these fiddle players, they don't even mention where the heritage comes from sometimes. So it's too bad. And now his well, I think he does have some kids There's a daughter he has that I spoke to one time, so I'll see if I can find her again. I've kind of lost touch with her, but I'll ask her, see if she knows. No other questions? So let's run over the first one again. We'll do each one a few times. So I'm going to start out nice and slow, and maybe I'll just gradually speed up a little bit. I won't go full bore or anything, but so we'll do the first one, the Andy DeJarlis. That one. Okay, so here we go. So as I got into that last speed, I just thought of something that I always add in, that I always heard Kelvin Vollrath play. And I didn't even remember it when I was playing it slow. It took the boost in speed, but it's just a little, kind of a little hiccup, like almost a little, I'll show you. So right there. Did we talk about ghost notes a little bit? How, I don't know if that was in this workshop or another one, but it's kind of where you're, that third note, bop, bop, it's kind of they call it a ghost note because your bow's moving and you're not really fully playing that note. It's there, but it's not there. So it's like a, here it is. Something like that. That's kind of what it is if you break it down. Put that A, F sharp, and then that next A is kind of a silent. So that's just a little bit of a twist, you know, to kind of, I really like doing that. It just kind of adds so much when I play it like that. It takes away from the monotony for sure. Okay, so let's do the other version now. So here we go. So that's the one. So nice and slow. a little bit faster. See a couple comments come in. Thank you, Kathy. Oh, let's see. Kathy says, oh, sorry. Sorry. Kathy says, just wanted to let everyone know that the Drops of Brandy Metis book is available on the Gabriel Dumont website, download only for $12. And I just got it last week too, so it's excellent. So now it doesn't matter that somebody borrowed my hard copy and never gave it back. And it's really good. All right. So any last questions, comments?
Yeah, Patty, I got one.
Yeah.
It may be a strange one, but is there any chance a guy could mix them two up and play part of one and part of the other?
Yeah, why not?
I'm just saying that, like sometimes in my head something tells me something, and all of a sudden, I've got the first part of his and the second part of, I don't know which one it is. The second part of Reg's and the first part of Vandy's, or the vice versa, or whatever.
Oh yeah, for sure, because they're so similar, especially in that second part. It goes from to, so it's almost the same to. So it's really, really similar, really similar. It sounds, when you hear it in its entirety, it sounds like, to me, like two different tunes, but when you break it down like that, it actually sounds quite similar. So I wouldn't see a problem. And I've heard somebody do that, and I have no idea who it was, but I'll start looking and see. It might have been a local guy here, Darren LaValle, if I
But
remembering correctly.
Reg's version sounds, and that second part, a little more crooked.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, in the transition, I think it definitely is a little bit
It's a little more crooked. I mean, they're both pretty crooked.
Yeah. Any other questions or concerns? So how many of you tried it with your G tuned up to an A? Yeah. Not too many. Okay, so when you're playing it with your G as a G, I find my hand gets sore because you're playing that third finger high all the time. So, and then on this Reg Bovet version, to me that's so easy to go like an open. I'm just playing like open to second finger, open second. It's just going up and down the second finger. But if it would be like, so yeah, it kind of takes away having to do a couple steps, which I'll do that anytime. All right. So that's great. So next week, I believe it's the cross tune tunes. There's Devil's Waltz and the Gilbert's Duck Dance, I believe. So those will be fun.
I got
full tune. So if you want to actually come, we can go over it quickly. But if you want to try tuning your fiddle beforehand, it might save some time. So you're tuning. Your A string stays the same. Then I'll just do it quickly because I have these pegs. It's easy to do it. Whoa, hang on. So your E string goes to a C sharp, so it's going down. So I'm going to check it. And then your D goes up to an E. And your G up to an A like we did today. So mine's already there. Sounds a little bit out. I'll just fine tune it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there it is. That's how it is. Your A is the same. Your E is the C sharp. So if you want to check with your second finger on the A, that's what the note is. That's what matching your former E string. And then your D becomes the E. So it's one step up, and then your G's the A. So C sharp, A, E, A. That's what they call it. And I think there's a name for it. type of tuning. I don't know if it's calico tuning or something, but there could be a name. And it's also, if you're familiar with the Black Mountain Rag, the tune, it goes. That one, it's the same tuning as that.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next week. Try and tune if you can. If you can't, that's okay. Well, we will go over it again. All right. So thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Recording. There we go. So I will send you the recording link very